Hello.
Hello, and welcome to Stupid O'Clock UK, the Gaming Session Podcast, or TGS Podcast.
The TGS podcast.
Just John and myself today, and the big news this weekend was Red Dead Redemption. Well, I say the big news, there's lots of big news stuff for us to talk about, but Red Dead Redemption, for all you gamers, is now available, backwards compatible on Xbox One. Kind of surprised they didn't just port the thing and make another $1 billion off of one of their properties. But, you know, Rockstar have already made like almost $2.5 billion off of Grand Theft Auto 5, so not being too greedy.
No, $500 million did I just see in GTA Online alone?
Online alone, yeah.
Online alone, $500 million. That is amazing.
Yeah, crazy. Right.
But GTA is incredible, so...
Okay, so I'm starting this again from scratch. For those of you only listening, I'm playing Red Dead Redemption on my Xbox One. Brand new save file. Haven't played this game in almost 5 years.
Maybe 6?
Maybe a little bit less. When did Undead Nightmares come out?
Oh, that was after, wasn't it?
Yeah, so 4 or 5 years I haven't played this.
Okay.
So, might be a little bit rusty for a little while. But we'll get there. And we'll talk about other things that have just happened. Right. So, something else that happened. So, we're currently on Sunday. So, last night was UFC 200 with Brock Lesnar fighting Mark Hunt.
Try saying that slowly.
He was fighting Mark Hunt. No, he was fighting Mark Hunt.
Americans also have trouble with that. I saw that news story, and I thought he said that word.
Most people thought, for some reason, that Brock Lesnar was going to lose this fight. And
I have no idea why.
No, it's like they forgot who he was. And last time he was fighting, he was extremely sick. I mean, if you were to physically design, in this day and age, a gladiator, like that's what it would look like. It would look like Brock Lesnar. I have no doubt. Follow Jake to the horses. Yeah, so he would, like, I'm not saying he absolutely dominated. I mean, it went to a ref's decision as far as I'm aware. But, yeah, this is a guy that's been out of the ring for 5 years. They're like, oh, yeah, he's going to have ring rust. It's like, alright, a UFC heavyweight fighter might fight once, maybe twice a year.
Yeah.
But Lesnar's in the WWE, as we all know. And he fights 4 or 5 times a year there. So, alright, it's not the same type of fighting, but it's still...
Keeping him in practice.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. Of course. And the interesting thing, I always look at Brock Lesnar and think, he is the human embodiment of the Incredible Hulk, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he's almost as big as the Incredible Hulk.
He's
Guy's
massive.
huge.
He's huge. He's a self-confessed bully. Like when he was a kid and all the rest of it. And he's always been a fighter. But, you know, he's found the way to make a living out of it. Not that I condone bullying at all. Don't condone it.
No.
Sorry again for those just listening and hearing this random footage.
Red Dead Redemption. I always thought that if Red Dead Redemption became a movie that Hugh Jackman should play him.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, 5 or 6 years ago I thought that.
It's a massive story to fit in that. I think maybe if they did it as a TV series,
That
maybe
could
someone
work.
like Adam Baldwin played John Marston.
That could work. We haven't seen Adam. Where was the last time we saw Adam, actually?
Probably cameoing in Castle.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, did he appear in Independence Day?
Not at all.
Ah,
It was not in Independence Day Resurgence.
missed opportunity.
There are lots of missed opportunities in that movie.
Okay, so today you're going to go and see Ghostbusters.
I am.
And review the new Ghostbusters
I am
movie.
indeed. I'm going to a press screening today. So
Any preconceptions? I know you're trying to keep a...
I am trying to keep an open mind. Actually, I am trying to keep an open mind because I've decided that it's my journalistic responsibility to get both sides of the argument.
That being said, it's your journalistic responsibility to report on the controversy.
It is
already
also
surrounding.
there's a lot of controversy. There is a lot of controversy, and I've got to be honest. If I'm entering into this with an open heart, the concept at the beginning did not sway me as it did not sway you.
No, like
And it has nothing to do with the fact that they're girls. It's really important that we put that message
absolutely
across.
not. Absolutely not.
Nothing to do with that. Everyone assumes automatically that this is some sort of sexism on our part. Not at all. Those ladies are very good at what they do, and I do enjoy them in other properties.
I am a huge fan of Kristen Wiig. Like,
Yeah,
I'll
huge.
watch just about anything with her in. Like, if it's just a bit role, she steals it. Like in Anchorman 2.
Yep.
Like, that film was nowhere near as good as the first one, but she, like, her and Steve Carell together on screen might be the best thing about the entire movie.
Yes. Yeah. I will agree with you. You know, Leslie Jones is great. Leslie Jones is someone.
I think Melissa McCarthy's better in a supporting role than she ever is in the lead, though.
Yeah, she's at a point proven recently in Central Intelligence, actually.
Yeah, very small role, very, very funny.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah, no, I agree with that completely.
Did you finally go see that? You did.
Yeah, I
didn't you?
did, yeah.
Oh, cool. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good.
Yeah.
Did you agree what I was saying about there's an adult version of that movie?
Oh, absolutely. I don't know how they got away with the 12 as it is.
I know the 12 was pushing it.
Like, really?
Roadhouse. Anyway, for anyone that hasn't seen it, I haven't spoiled that for you.
Yeah, no, it was crazy.
Yeah, I think it's a 3, but I'm going to save the 4th star for the adult version. Do you think that's a fair review?
I think that's a fair review.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a by-the-numbers buddy cop movie with some gross-out scenes and some over-the-top juvenile humour.
Yeah.
But if you like juvenile humour, which I do,
Yeah. I think there's a dick joke cut of that movie.
Yeah.
Somewhere. And I think that we'll get that on Blu-ray. Let's hope, because that'd be great. I'd like to give that movie an extra star.
But I can fix Ghostbusters right now. I can stop all the controversy.
Okay.
Right. So Sony have got these people coming in to do like all the original cast to do cameos.
Do cameos.
So why not give them a 5-minute pre-credit sequence where Egon unfortunately has died.
Yep.
And they're gonna give up the business.
Yep.
And they sell it on.
Yep.
To
these 4 young ladies who think that
yeah,
that they can take on the mantle.
They can take on the mantle. Like, all right, so ghosts have been sort of like out of the sequence, but they're still in the containment unit.
Yep.
So someone still needs to at least guard that. So they sell on the business, and then you're jumping off. I think the main controversy comes from the fact that they're ignoring the first 2 films. And even the storyline of the video game, which some people say, oh, it's Ghostbusters 3. It isn't Ghostbusters 3, the video game. It's very, very funny, and it's well written because it's written by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis. So for all intents and purposes, it's certainly a canon extension of the original movie.
It's only a good candidate for Ghostbusters 3, but it still isn't Ghostbusters 3.
But then you could just call the new movie like Ghostbusters like 3 or just Ghostbusters, because it's nothing for people to make a sequel by using the original title anymore. No. And I think that would just have ended all the controversy. Where am I going? I'm just wandering around. I've got to go to the blue dot. There we go.
Yeah, I think, again, it has nothing to do with the fact that they're girls. I like, as I say, I like the idea of those particular ladies being assembled as a team. They're great in everything they're in. I have no issue with that at all. I think my key issues, and again, we're on the same song sheet with this. I think my key issues were the idea of reinventing as if a previous universe didn't exist. I think that's kind of my first problem with it. But my other problem with it is that to then reinvent that universe but have other characters come back,
yeah,
it's kind of wibbly wobbly, and I'm not sure where that's going to go. But
they're probably going to just 18 it, where they're different characters.
That's probably what they're going to do. We don't know that. I won't know that till later, but
it's not in the same universe. And I think that's the controversy. Is the original trailer started with like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
4 scientists, or like,
yeah,
together and save the world, or they're like, all 4 came together and saved the world. If you're that, why on the basis?
Yeah.
That you are.
Yeah. If we're not.
And like everyone thought, oh, it's going to be the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I still think it probably was the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in that trailer. And in the second trailer, suddenly it's got the Ghostbusters logo head on it.
Yes.
Right. So it's the way I see it, I think they just changed that in post. So why couldn't they just added something else later?
There's also just from what I've spotted from the trailer, there also appears to be some sort of time travel plot going on. Because there's that scene, isn't there, with I think it may be Times Square. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure, but they're in a square.
Yeah.
And the movie posters and the billboards all around them change to. I think the movie playing at the theatre is something recent from Sony, and then it changes to Excalibur, which, as we know, is like 82, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the posters and billboards around them change to like 1982.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I want to see what that's about.
Yeah. But, you know, the trailer does show a library ghost. Shows a great big white ghost walking through a city.
Mm-hmm.
For them to say it's not a basic remake is just absolute bull, isn't it, at this point?
Certainly, but then, you know, trailers can deceive us, as we've also learned.
And that's what worries me as well, because Robert Zemeckis isn't going to live forever. And if people put their money into this, we're inevitably at some point going to get a Back to the Future remake, or other classics are going to get remade.
Yes.
If this does well. And I kind of want it to fail on the basis I don't want these films anymore.
Yeah, and just you were referring point there that Bob Zemeckis and Bob Gale both previously stated that
it's in their contract. There can't be a remake whilst they're alive.
Yeah, while there's breath in their body, there cannot be any Back to the Future remakes.
Yeah.
But again, I think wasn't there a similar?
It's their intellectual property because you know they wrote the thing.
But didn't a similar furore? Again, there may be absolutely no truth in this, but I heard that there was a furore recently that Spielberg said that Ford will always be Indiana Jones all the time. There's breath in his body.
I don't agree with that. I think there's so many years of Indy's life that we could investigate. There's no reason we couldn't have a younger Indiana Jones.
In the same way we have a younger Han Solo coming.
It doesn't even have to be a younger Indiana Jones. We can just James Bond it. I'm fine with that. You know, there are plenty of people that could play that role and play it well.
Let's talk about the Sulu thing, since you're on to that.
Oh yeah, so there's controversy this weekend as well because Sulu's character in the new Star Trek Beyond is portrayed as homosexual briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't see why people have got an issue with this. Like, the guy that played him is an advocate for homosexual rights.
For homosexual rights, yeah, for gay rights. He is a gay rights activist and has been for many years. Bearing in mind, he would have been a gay activist at a time.
I mean,
when
so
that was a much bigger deal. He
wasn't necessarily playing a gay man. But what is the problem with there being a homosexual on the Starship Enterprise?
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's how it played. So
just because he's homosexual doesn't mean they're going to suddenly see butt fucking on the
No, I know,
bridge.
I know. Simon Pegg has written Sulu as gay, or is planning to. I'm not quite sure on the details with this movie or the next movie, but we know that Pegg's written this movie. It's likely that he'll write the next one, and so the concept.
No, certainly if it does well.
Concept is that, you know, Sulu is actually gay. Now, this, in its concept, was treated as the highest form of honour for is it George Takei? I always get his surname wrong. Takei. How do you say that correctly?
Takei.
So George Takei. Now,
I don't know. George.
Conceptually, you think George would be very happy with this idea, right?
Definitely.
Okay.
Like, he would be over the moon. Like.
So guess what? Here's the thing. So the news gets to him, and here's what happens. He then turns around and says that he's flattered.
Oh, he probably said, "Oh my."
he said he's very flattered. He thinks it's fantastic that, you know, we do need LGBT characters in the Star Trek universe.
Absolutely. This is supposed to be a universe of peace, love, and understanding. That was the whole point of it when Gene Roddenberry wrote it. Everybody was always writing dark dystopian versions of the future, and he wanted a future where there was peace on Earth and throughout the majority of the galaxy.
Yeah. So.
But that peace always comes at a cost, you know, then you've got to fight for that, right? And that was the whole point of exploration, as opposed to, like, the all-out battles of Star Wars. It was Star Trek. It was about, like, moving on. Now, I'm not the biggest Trekkie, but I certainly appreciate what it did for the sci-fi universe.
Well, here's the thing. George was touched by the idea. He loved the idea. It was brilliant. However, he didn't ultimately like it. And his kind of feedback on it was he's honoured that, you know, Sulu's been recognised this way, but the problem he has with it is that Sulu at this point to come out as gay would make Sulu essentially closeted up to this point. And what George doesn't like is the idea that this whole time he's been in the closet. He thinks that's ultimately not a worse crime, but it's not cool. It's like, well, hang on a minute. What you're saying is all this time he's been in the closet.
Well,
how about you
I don't agree with that completely.
Oh no, there's more. So his kind of comeback to that was, this is great that you're doing this, but why don't you write? Why don't you write an original character that is openly gay? Okay, so that was his comeback to that. Thanks very much. It's a great idea. I'm honoured that you've done this, you know, for this character. However, I'm not really feeling it. Why don't you write a new character that is openly gay already, not in the closet, right? Simon Pegg's response, this has been going on for the last few days. Simon Pegg's response to that was, well, hang on a second. You're arguing that the character is closeted this way, but if I write a new character that's openly gay, then I'm basically
changing law.
I'm enabling tokenism.
Yeah.
I'm writing him in because he's gay. Isn't that not tokenism?
Yeah, I agree.
So Pegg's response to that is why I kind of want to respectfully decline. Because I'm with the greatest respect, and he went on to say about, you know, George as an institution, how much he loves George and respects him and his characters and everything he's done for
George's character doesn't necessarily have to have been gay.
No, and this is Simon Pegg's argument. We're on alternate
universe.
Timelines. You know, Pegg was saying, I like the idea that, you know, somewhere in all the timeline changes, whatever the magic ingredient.
There could have been a slight different genetic change there.
Yeah, whatever the magic ingredient is in us that makes us love what we love.
Series, the sexual tension was between Kirk and Uhura, and now that's Spock and Uhura's story, which never happened in the original. Kirk's father was alive in the original story. All these things have changed, so
all these things have changed. So Simon Pegg's kind of coming back
making
now.
them not only like prequels but sequels all at the same time, and remakes. Like, it works.
Exactly. So his argument is, well, you know, whatever magic ingredient makes us love who we love in the universe, that's now different. We're on an alternate timeline.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe that's different for this version of Sulu, but not necessarily the original version of Sulu.
Yeah.
And Lulu.
Lulu. Oh, you make me wanna fuck ass. Is that what his problem is?
No, so you know, we've now got two people. They're not, you know, and obviously our friends in the red-headed press would like to argue that Simon Pegg and George are at each other's throats about this, but that's all bollocks.
No,
not at all. Simon Pegg is a huge fan of George's. He's hugely respectful of his decision, and he's been nothing but polite, professional, and supportive of George's thought process on
absolutely,
this.
yeah.
But he's basically saying, "I'm sorry, George, but I can't do that because you're arguing that Sulu is closeted. I'm arguing that if I go with your plan and write a new character that's openly gay, I'm basically engaging in tokenism, and I want to avoid that in everything I do, not just Star Trek."
Yeah.
And fair play to both sides, really. You can understand George's angle, but you can understand Simon's angle too. So, not really sure where that's going. I mean, we don't actually have any facts on whether or not it's this version of Sulu in this movie, Beyond, which is out on the 22nd of July.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's happened already in this movie, and then in which case it's too late anyway. You know, but personally, I'm quite happy for characters in the Star Trek universe to love whoever they want to love. That's what makes the Star Trek universe beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm open to the idea. Let's do it. That's what he said. Anyway, but of course, this conversation and narrative going on in the press over the last few days reopened the Doctor Who James Bond discussion as to, you know, whether, and Idris Elba again saying, you know, if I'm going to be James Bond, I want to be chosen because of what I can bring to the role, not because of my skin colour.
Yeah.
You know, and that is tokenism at its absolute worst.
Absolutely, I agree. And my only problem there is Fleming did write a description of Bond.
He did, and that's not racism. That's following your source material.
Yeah, he did write a very full description, and
But Idris gets that.
He changed that description even more specifically once he saw Connery. Like he added to it, and he like if anything like okay, so then you could argue that Daniel Craig doesn't look like Bond.
You could actually.
Yeah.
You could argue that.
Which I did at the time. I said it should have been Clive Owen because Clive Owen looked like Bond. I think Gerard Butler looks like Bond.
Yeah, Gerard Butler would work as Bond.
He's Scottish
and famously strong Scottish men have always worked out as Bond.
Tall, well-built Scottishmen have worked out in the past, I believe. I think someone did it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, and that's another thing we've kind of addressed that. And Idris is on side with that. That's the funny thing. Everyone's going, yeah, we want Idris, and Idris is kind of going, no.
Yeah.
If I'm going to play a part, I want to play a part because I'm right for the part, not because I'm the right or wrong colour. It's like, no. He wants kind of away from it.
Yeah.
It's kind of almost like he's saying, please stop asking. Unless the studio wants me to do it for the right reasons.
All right. So Doctor Who, there's been talk about a female casting of Doctor Who for a long time.
Yes.
Now, I think that's a bad idea at this time.
But it's possible. That's the difference between that and Bond.
They have recently seen some of the lowest figures they've seen since it's come out, yeah? Mm-hmm. That's an absolute fact. For whatever reason, Capaldi has not resonated with audiences the same way Eccleston did, the same way Tennant did, and the same way Smith did. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason. Maybe it's the style of storytelling, I don't know. It's not necessarily all the way down to him.
To the point where Smith is a consideration for a return.
Absolutely, because they need to get those figures back up, especially in a time where BBC is struggling the way it is.
Yes.
I mean, they had the world's #1 TV show, Top Gear, and they fucked it. They fucked it royally.
Absolutely. Chris Evans, of course, resigning this week.
Chris Evans resigned in inverted commas. Like they gave him I reckon they gave him the chance to
jump before he was pushed.
Well, yeah. They said basically, you're gone, but we'll let you save face. That's what I reckon happened. There's no way those figures arrived and he was the one to go, maybe I shouldn't.
Well, apparently there was a bit of a face-off between him and Matt LeBlanc, and Matt LeBlanc was saying it's him or me.
All right.
And audiences...
Oh, yeah, and Chris Evans isn't sleeping with the producer.
And of course...
But Matt LeBlanc's videos are way better.
Matt LeBlanc, of course, is getting the audience vote.
Yeah, his videos are way better. And the two guys from Extra Gear, or whatever it is, Top Gear Extra...
They should be presenters.
Certainly. At least, definitely the young guy. Like, he is amazing. His video where he drove the new Jaguar across Europe, basically, was fantastic. It was so good.
So we think BBC's Top Gear is not dead yet.
No, it's not dead.
It just needs to go through
it started off with not enough presenters, and now it's got way too many. They need to get rid of Eddie Jordan. Like, as interesting as the man is, like, he can't present for shit. He always looks like he's reading the teleprompt. Now, Matt LeBlanc, he may well be reading teleprompts, but the man's an actor, and a far better actor than he gets credit for. Right, so he can do that sort of thing and be convincing.
Yeah.
And the sheer joy in his face whenever he's on that show, doing something, like when he was driving the new Porsches, like, he was happy as a Larry convention rising pigs and shit, right? and that made you feel good for watching it.
Yeah, that rubs off. If someone's genuinely enjoying what they do.
But Evans just seems to be trying to, for some reason, be a Clarkson clone. And only Clarkson can get away with being Clarkson, apparently.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Producers have quit since Evans been on as well. And he didn't even have to hit anyone for that to happen. I'm just saying.
Yeah, tell it like it is, my friend. That's the way it's always been.
He's unconvincing. And I've always enjoyed Evans on the radio. Let me state this.
Yeah, we'll
Right.
back this up.
As
I
people,
really
people
like
who
him as a
broadcast
presenter.
themselves. But
Yeah.
the problem is he now has permanent radio voice. So he's shouting when he doesn't have to shout. But he's much louder than he needs to be.
Shouty is his nickname on set, isn't it? Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
And he's not funny. I'm not sure what the purpose of the way they've changed Star and the reason he post car is. I'm alright with the rallycross bit. Like, that's fine. But why do we need to know... Why does it always have to be, oh, what was your best car, what was your first car? Why does that have to be point-based? Why are there two people at once?
That was fun.
Yeah.
Instead of getting an in-depth interview like you used to get with Clarkson,
Yeah.
now you're just getting bits and pieces.
We could help you deal with that nice Mr.
That's it.
From 2 stars.
Yeah. There was, I think it was episode 5, there was so little time that they didn't even talk about what they were there to promote.
Nope.
It was cut out. And that seems unfair. These people go on this show not only to drive the car, which obviously they do that for, but obviously to promote whatever they're working on. Like Jennifer Saunders didn't get to talk about Absolutely Fabulous at all, which is crazy.
It's a shame, because that movie's amazing.
Is Ab Fab a Channel 4 or BBC property?
Ab 4 is a BBC... Ab Fab is a
Yeah.
BBC property. It's a BBC film. Fox
So why the
Searchlight.
hell didn't they take the opportunity to promote their own product?
Fox Searchlight picked it up for international distribution, but it is actually a BBC film.
Yeah. I mean, talk about wasted opportunities.
Yeah. 4 out of 5 for that movie, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah, great movie.
I really wasn't a fan of the series, so
Really
I don't know
enjoyed it.
how I'll react to it.
You're looking much better.
I've seen people since that have never seen the series that also really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's nice that it's got that flexibility, that it's a very smooth plot, it's set up fairly easily, and people could just jump in.
Yeah.
And it's quite nice. You can play Spot the Cameo, because pretty much everyone they interact with is famous.
Yeah.
So, it's good. An interesting story about that. I heard that Dawn French bet Jennifer Saunders $100,000 that she wouldn't do it.
All right.
But it was kind of it was a thing. But what she was actually trying to do was get her to do it.
Well, I imagine Dawn French also makes a lot of money out of that.
Well,
Because originally it was a sketch on their show, so they created the characters.
and of course French is in the movie.
She played Saffron in the Dawn French played Saffron in the original sketches.
Yeah.
My problem is with that show is I found it very difficult to find a character I could like and get behind, because I think the daughter was the most annoying character in it, but she's supposed to be the reasonable character that you're sort of getting behind and observing the ridiculous behaviour of her mother and her friend.
Yes.
But they made her too bitchy. But I'm obviously in the minority here.
No, I get behind the characters, these two, because I just love them. I love their chaos. It's brilliant. We'll talk about BBFC in a minute. So it's the thing, but we'll get back to that. But yeah, AbFab, it's a lot of fun, and but as I say, Dawn French had this bet on saying, but it was a secret. It was her way of going, this is my way of saying I'm going to put the first $100,000 up.
Yeah.
Because so Jennifer Saunders went and claimed on the bet.
Yeah.
So obviously she did it, which is fantastic. But what's interesting about this is BBFC have started being more descriptive with their certification.
Yeah.
I think AbFab was the one I noticed the other day, which was quite funny. What was it that really made me chuckle about it? It was something about
Armadillo.
inappropriate use of Botox or something, or the kind of technical equivalent. I'm trying to work inappropriate use of facial something. Was in the tagline of the BBC certification, rated 15 for adult themes, swearing, inappropriate use of Botox or something like that, and drug abuse and other stuff. But the funnier one that had me crack, it shouldn't make me laugh, but in the Neon Demons description, Neon Demon got awarded an 18th certificate, and it says for strong sexual themes, language, gore, and necrophilia.
Okay. Well, surely that was covered in sexual themes.
Necrophilia. That they felt the necrophilia, obviously in this movie, is so disturbing that they felt the need to separately categorise necrophilia in the BBFC description. But they're getting more inventive with their description. So I enjoy. Because I get an email from BBFC telling me what they've rated and why they rated it.
Yeah.
So this is
So it's becoming an ever more interesting read, that email.
Yeah.
Which is always good. But yeah, so that, going back to Top Gear, why they wouldn't utilise an opportunity to promote their own product there, and an especially good product actually.
Yeah.
Because it is a lot of fun as a movie. It's an absolute riot to go and see. And I think you should, whether you've seen the series or you haven't. It's really, really funny, and some great cameos in there from lots of people we love. But Top Gear, can it be saved? I think it can, with a few changes, like you say. Let Matt be the lead presenter. Bring some other guys in. You say the two guys that are the
Sabine, like she's an amazing driver, but a presenter she is not.
No.
Like an amazing driver, I would still use her for bits and pieces. Get rid of Eddie Jordan. Like, you could just go with those three. You could even have a female presenter as long as you just find the right one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all for a female presenter on that show because that'll give it a bigger, wider audience. But it already had the biggest, widest audience in the universe. So like, what else?
Which is now losing, is bleeding out rapidly.
Yeah, and I'm sure when Clarkson and crew start theirs, it's going to be a hit. And frankly, Amazon kind of need it.
Yeah, I think so. I think Clarkson's. It's the Grand Tour. It's called, isn't it?
The Grand Tour. That's it. Yeah.
I think that'll be good. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm certainly looking forward to that. It'll be nice to see the boys together again. So that's good. And yeah, as for Doctor Who, there are a lot of people. See, the thing is, with the Doctor Who universe, you could have a woman as the Doctor because wibbly wobbly timey-wimey.
Yeah.
But would it work? I don't know. I'm always up for trying these things and seeing what works and what doesn't. However, of course, as I was saying in the news story earlier, that Matt Smith, Stephen Moffat was recently interviewed and said that Matt Smith was being considered for the role of the next Doctor. Therefore, returning as the Doctor.
Again, famously, this could just be a ploy to keep people off the scent, which wouldn't be the first time such a thing has happened.
He said that he was absolutely devastated when Matt wanted to leave.
Yeah, well, everyone was, because their figures were ridiculous back then as well. So I imagine the BBC was like pretty upset about it.
However, Matt, also being recently interviewed, said he'd love to have another opportunity to do it. So,
well, in which case, let him.
I think it'd work. I think it'd be good to get back to some Matt Smith.
Well, why not? I mean, like Tom Baker's character in the 50th anniversary says that he could revisit some old faces.
That's left that open.
Yeah, so it's already been canonised.
Or Tennant, I'll happily take Tennant.
Yeah. Yeah, I would do that as well. I mean, I think that was rumoured after Smith, wasn't it? As well, back then.
So, this is essentially happening again. We shall see. We shall see.
I mean, you already said something special was going to happen this year, so who knows?
And as with Ghostbusters, keep your eye on Stupid O'Clock on film.
Yeah, definitely.
I will provide you with a report later on, probably sometime after midnight tonight.
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm allowed to do. I don't know,
depending on
it's all very hush-hush.
embargoes, etc.
Yeah, I mean, this okay. So for those of you in the UK, the movie opens here in the United Kingdom tomorrow. So this is quite late in the day to be screening it to press.
Very.
But we do live in the digital world, so short lead media is the primary media now these days. So it's doable on such a short window of time. However, and this is the thing, I can talk about this is not being negative, this is an actual thing among us critics.
Yeah.
We've noticed now, distributors are at a point where they're allowing us to think that the earlier they show us something, the better it is. And case in point, Finding Dory opens in this country on the 29th of July here in the UK. I know you guys in the US already have this movie.
Yeah.
But in this country, it opens on the 29th of July. I saw that movie a long time ago through legal means. By the way, I just must add, I went to a press junket for that movie, thanks to Disney. It was incredible movie, 5 stars, 100% loved it. It's amazing. It's on a par with Nemo. It's just Pixar being back on top of their game. Loved it. However, movies that I've seen recently that I was not allowed to be screened until the day before the movie opened were Batman vs Superman,
Yeah.
Independence Day Resurgence.
Yeah.
Are you seeing a
Oh,
theme?
yeah.
You're seeing a theme here.
These all ended up being shite. Turtles.
Turtles, that was also the day before. And all of these movies I scored low stars for.
Yeah. And a lot of them, they'd roll out a star or a director going, please don't say bad things about this movie. At least until we've made our money back. Please.
I may or
And I think that
may
this
not
work-
have met Zack Snyder the night
this
before
works
Batman
in
opened.
detriment, I think. I don't think
Just
they
saying.
think about this correctly.
So, yeah, that happened.
Yeah,
But,
I think this works out badly for them on the basis that
the later they leave it, the worse it is.
it becomes a fresher story. If the review's out, oh, it's a bad film, like 2 weeks before it comes out, by then people have forgotten and go and see it anyway.
I'm just gonna. You have a very interesting theory on how this has a negative impact on the movie, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, they should just screen it to us like the old days, like a month before.
Yeah, and then
Because if it does, the review does go out and it's bad, people have forgotten about it by the time the movie does come out.
yeah, because then people get into the mindset, well, I want to see it anyway.
I'm just gonna Google.
But
Other search
like,
engines are
Batman,
available, by the way.
well, Dawn of Justice, like it was doing great money, and then the reviews came out, and then it dropped like ridiculously fast. It did not. It opened up strong, and then just did not take the money that they were expecting it to.
Okay, well, the world premiere of Ghostbusters.
From that opening. From the opening, it should have done Star Wars money, and it didn't do anywhere near Star Wars money.
Looks like he's holed up at the old Pleasance house.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do other search engines are available, but
Yeah.
Google a Ghostbusters review. Now, bearing in mind, here in the United Kingdom, we did have the world premiere last night in Leicester Square,
Take cover behind that wagon to your right.
and so far I have Googled the term Ghostbusters review. Ready? Here's what I got back. A YouTube channel, Ghostbusters 2016 review, Rage Alert, WE at the movies.
Mm.
Is that a review or is that? I don't know. We'll have a look at that in a sec. Gizmodo Australia: The Rise and Fall of Ghostbusters 3. Big shout out to Gizmodo.
Yeah.
Have they reviewed it? Shall we see? Let's have a look. Nope, that's an interview about what happens with Ghostbusters 3. So that's not a review. Big hello to Gizmodo, though. Okay, the Tech Times have posted an article saying are Ghostbusters reviews embargoed until opening day.
Yeah.
And according to the Tech Times,
According to the Tech Times.
review embargoes are usually a sign of a movie worried about bad publicity, which is often a sign of a bad movie. That's quoting from Tech Times.
Yeah.
Now one Facebook user is reporting that the new Ghostbusters will have a review with reviews banned until after the movie opens on July 10th.
Yeah.
And the comment appeared on the Midnight's Edge Facebook group, which is also behind the documentary-like videos covering the new movie. So that's coming from the Tech Times. Cheers for that, guys. Yeah. So nothing. I'm getting nothing. I'm getting nothing at all. Yeah. Google reports 0 reviews for Ghostbusters, which means I'm fairly certain that when I arrive later, I'm going to be told to
Hold it back
to
until
be
tomorrow.
very quiet until a certain time. So when I find out what that time is, at 1 minute past that time, on Stupid O'Clock, on film, and all the Stupid O'Clock portals, on Facebook and Twitter, I will post a review. I'll probably record it as audio, you guys, so you can play it back. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's happening. That's interesting. And just saying, you know, it seems the later that we leave these screenings, the worse the movies are. And again, that's not me trying to be negative or unprofessional. That's just how it's working out right now.
Yeah.
Because every movie I've seen way in advance has been fantastic. Another, I haven't seen the Neon Demon but I do have colleagues. We have friends and people in the business that did see that movie.
Yeah.
Neon Demon. Now that was another one that people were cautious of because Drive was fantastic, and the follow-up movie, which I've completely forgotten the name of, with a good reason. Only God Forgives.
Something along those lines.
Yeah. That I'm
I
sorry
think that
if
is
I
right
misquoted
because
that.
I'm not sure he would have because that movie was so bad.
Well, that
I remember
movie
going to see that with
wasn't so
Matt,
good.
and like we were desperate to see it, being huge fans of Drive.
Drive was just
Like, Drive
game
was,
changing.
Like
Yeah.
Drive and Warrior were my 2 films of that year.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the year of the sleeper hit.
Oh yeah, the director of Warrior is doing something amazing, but we'll get to that in a minute.
And so I was like, yeah, well pleased with this, and then nah.
Well,
it was awful.
On a hit-miss ratio,
And I
know-
sat there going, well, maybe I do like this. I kept trying to convince myself.
no, it's not happening. I was like that with the Ice Age Collision Course, but anyway, we'll move on from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Neon Demon screened very early to critics, and I've not seen it, but from our colleagues in the business, it's getting 4s and 5s across the board. Consistent 5s, actually, quite a lot of 5s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that movie was screened ages ago. Icon screened that movie to everybody a long time ago. So again, this just adds weight to the point I'm trying to make. But the earlier Civil War, I saw that considerably earlier than most other movies.
Yeah.
And again, that movie's a 5-star movie. You know. So it just seems that the earlier they're screening it to press, the better
better the
they are.
movie.
Yeah. That and you know, arguments being, oh well, you can't say that. Well, what do you expect us to say? Because that's what's happening. That's a reality right now. It's good the earlier we see it, but if you sit on it till the day before, it seems to be, you know, okay to terrible.
Yeah.
And that's really what happened. This, by the way, does not include, with the exception of movies that I will kind of pop along and screen opening day because I haven't had a chance to see them before. Obviously, that's a different kettle of fish. That's just, I've not had a chance to see that movie. I go along on the opening day. The movie I see that movie turns out to be pretty good. Like Tarzan, for example. I didn't see that until opening day. Really liked it.
Yeah.
Getting some interesting mixed reactions, but personally for me, late 3 pushing a 4. I really enjoyed it. Thought it had a lot of heart. There's lots of action in it. It's great. It's good to Edgar Rice Burroughs' original treatment. And Samuel L. Jackson, Margot Robbie, Christoph Waltz. It was not to like about that, you know.
Yeah.
David Yates, Harry Potter, you know, famously has got best-selling novels right before.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I agree completely. 100%.
It's you know, and a lot of people coming back. I've since sent to see it, going, "You got to go see this movie." They come back, and go, "Yeah, that movie's a 3." You know, it's just good Saturday matinee fun. That's what I've called it.
Yeah.
Saturday matinee Saturday afternoon adventure story. Perfect for that. So you know, sometimes I don't get a chance to see a movie, and that's just why that is, not because it's terrible. But it's when they're held back.
Yeah.
And I think Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters may suffer from that. I think that may be the problem. And of course, different people are going to have different responses and different, you know, thoughts process about it. Feel free to comment away in the comments about what your thoughts are on Ghostbusters and what you're expecting, or Top Gear,
Yeah.
or Doctor Who, or James Bond, or Sulu, or Star Trek, or any of the goodness. Bearing in mind, of course, you know, say, I don't know when does the Grand Tour start?
Summer.
Summer. We
End
got
of summer. Beginning of autumn. God knows. They haven't
new-
they haven't given me specific dates yet. I don't think.
we've got a new season of Doctor Who coming this year, haven't we?
Christmas that starts.
Christmas, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
James Bond is obviously up in the air right now.
So this year just.
Yeah, James Bond is in limbo right now.
How much did they offer him to come back?
Craig,
It was ridiculous money, wasn't it?
it was a ridiculous amount of money, yes. It was a ridiculous amount. I don't know the exact figure, but Craig was offered monies. Sam Mendes has been very clear about the fact he's not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, and just to tie up my loose end from earlier, the director of Warrior is just finished The Accountant with Ben Affleck,
Okay.
which looks fantastic.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember seeing the trailer for that. That looks
Yeah.
very, 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 very
Good use of Radiohead.
Yeah.
which is good. So all that's happening. That's all. That's all coming. And I'm just looking at something else. How are you getting? Are you enjoying your ride?
Yeah, I mean, I forgot just how much fun it was just to ride around in this game. Again, if you just joined us, that's Red Dead Redemption, which is now available on the Xbox One on backwards compatibility. So if you just have the disc, obviously you can install it from the disc.
Which is great.
Play it from there, or
Something that's not going to cost you any money if you're already owning it.
if you already own it on
Yeah.
either digital or disc-wise, you can play it on the Xbox One. If you owned it, then sold it, what was wrong with you?
You need this game. You like Rockstar being Rockstar is the best way to sum this game up.
Certainly.
This is what they're good at. You know, this is why they make $500 million on online alone.
Yeah.
Because these are great games. There is
I mean, Red
so
Dead-
much to do.
We're going to see Red Dead 2 in the next year.
Value
pretty
for
sure
money
of
is
it.
incredible.
They've been working on it for a while.
Well, I'm certainly pleased to see another one.
And I've got that like confirmed from one of my sources, so that's
Yes, your friends at Rockstar.
yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So we'll see.
I'm quite excited for. There's some great games coming actually.
There are. It's like apparently other game news. Total Rocks Evolve is free to play now on Steam, and they're going to basically just try and make their money from the abundance of micro and macro transactions they've got for that game, and it is a ridiculous amount they have for that game. Also, since doing that, their gaming, their attendance of people playing on their servers has gone up by 15,000%. Playing that game.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's crazy. So it's done well for them, and it will be coming to PlayStation and Xbox One. That's free to play. So currently it's in the Xbox Live sale,
Okay.
the Ultimate sale. So I would just hold on a month whilst it's betaing on Steam, seeing how that's working. And judging by the figures they're getting already, it's gonna go free to play everywhere. So I would just wait for sure.
We were talking about different characters and different races and types and genders playing different characters, and funnily enough, in my newsfeed, Marvel have a
female Iron Man. She's 15 years old.
female Iron Man,
Female teenage Iron Man.
female teenage Iron Man.
Tony's passed that on. So, but yeah, Marvel have been doing this recently. New Captain America was out for a little while. We had the female Thor. You know, the old Captain America is a Hydra, and I just think this is all good.
It's very
It
good.
expands the story. It's not that these
Actually.
characters are gone or dead. I mean, for Falcon to become Captain America, Steve Rogers had to die, and now he's back.
Yeah, Brian
And
Michael
apparently was
Bendis.
always a Hydra, which is ridiculous. Of course he wasn't.
Bendis is working on the new Iron Man story,
Yeah.
which is great. That's a guarantee of quality in
I mean, this
itself.
is the man that brought Guardians of the Galaxy out of retirement and back into the mainstream, gave us powers, like, as you say, restarted all the Iron Man story. It's not going to stay as this girl. She may well become an Iron Man of some kind,
Yep.
like War Machine, all the rest of it. It's not going to stay as her, because that's not what happens. Like, every now and again, someone else may take the mantle of another character, but they never stay that way.
This
So
is
people are up
happening
in
with
arms. Like,
Spider-Man.
oh.
It's happened with all the characters, isn't it? At some point or another.
I mean, Spider-Man's had how many different? Like, she's got what? Ben, Miles. Like, even there's even a Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen is a thing right now. Actually, that's happening right now.
Yeah. There's not a universe where Spider-Man's a girl.
I
as
very
well,
nearly-
Other than that one.
Very nearly bought what can only be described as a beautiful T-shirt with Spider-Gwen on it recently. Was it Forbidden Planet? And yeah, I saw it very nearly. Oh, it's so you could bankrupt yourself in those stores, couldn't you?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I also saw, which I agonised over, by the way, a hooded sweatshirt, exactly like the ones in the movies, that says Xavier's School for Gifted Students. A hooded sweatshirt.
Now, like, talking of reboots and all the rest of it, there's something I think needs
Yes,
rebooted.
let's talk about your X-Men thing, because I
Right.
think your X-Men theory is great.
I think X-Men, right, needs restarting. And I'm so against the reboot and all the rest of it. Now, what you need to do is you restart it, but Deadpool remains aware, so you can still keep Reynolds. You don't have to recast him. But Deadpool remains aware of what happened before. And that in itself is very Deadpool. That's very meta.
Yep.
And I think that would really, really work.
He's aware of previous incarnations. I like that as an idea.
Because they fucked that timeline now. They've royally fucked it. They fucked it, and then immediately after fucking it, suggested they get a cab. Like, didn't even cuddle with it afterwards. They just got down to its fucking. That's what they did. Like
Having
they
a shootout.
They wiped their dick on the curtain and everything, man. It was. And the thing is, they spent so much time trying to fix it, and at the end of the day, this proves one thing, and that is, don't let Brett Ratner do anything.
Especially not Beverly Hills Cop 4. That's never happening, is it?
Let's fucking hope not, man.
Well, it's on and then it was off and it was on.
Let's hope that the Rush Hour TV series was the final nail in fucking any kind of coffin for that.
Well, so it was a movie, and then what happened was, again, don't entirely quote me on any facts here, but as I recall, it went back to Paramount. Paramount said, hang on a second, this would be great as a TV show.
Yeah.
So apparently this exists. Apparently there is a 60-minute pilot out in the world that exists with Eddie Murphy as Axel Foley for a TV show. However, his last known status was it was now going to be a movie again. So I don't know how they play that. Whether they take the 60 minutes they already did and expand upon that and into a movie, or do they scrap the 60-minute pilot and make the movie? Who knows?
Who knows?
But I'm still curious. I still want to see that pilot.
To the victor, the spoil.
60 minutes of Eddie Murphy's Axel Foley that we haven't seen before. That isn't Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
I think that, well, after Eddie Murphy's career, or lack of one in recent years, which is a shame, because his last film really didn't perform, and I thought it was his best in years. Was it 1,000 Words, or whatever it was?
Yes.
That was the best film we'd done in a long, long time, probably since Bowfinger. And I'm not saying it's as good as Bowfinger, because it's not, so don't quote me on that. But it was an awesome movie, and
The Tower movie, heist movie, was
Tower Heist he was good in that as well.
yeah. Back to Eddie Murphy, back to being Eddie Murphy.
And these films sort of got panned unnecessarily, because that's what happens with Ben Stiller comedies. Like 10% like get praised like anything, beyond the point they should be, and the others get panned beyond the point they should be.
But Zoolander 2 is not Zoolander.
No, but it could turn out that in 5 years' time, everyone will love it.
Same way they did Zoolander.
Yeah, I don't think so. But you never know. It's a possibility.
Talking about stuff being panned, you probably heard the story that BFG is
Not performing.
not performing in the States.
I didn't expect it to.
I think it will do better here, and I've been consistent in
It will
this
do
all
better
week.
in here in Europe. Like it's a stable of like Roald Dahl. All right, is a world-selling author, no doubt about that. But it's a staple of British childhood.
Wrote a Bond movie,
Yeah.
amongst many other great things.
So like he's a treasure here, whereas not so much out there.
I needed more.
That movie will definitely perform better here in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
I think
For
it will
sure.
do very well here.
It will. It'll be the #1 movie here. I'm sure of it. Just in time for the summer holidays.
Coming out the same day as Star Trek Beyond, interestingly.
Yeah.
So
But Star Trek Beyond isn't going to get the parents dragging the kids along to it as quite as much
readily as BFG will do.
I'm not saying BFG is going to do Star Trek Beyond money, because it won't. That's not going to happen.
No.
Well, it could do, but I'm not about to put money on it. You know? It's one of those things. This, I'm sure it'll do very, very well. I'm sure it's a great movie.
Let's cross while we still can.
Is it Drake? The other side. It's an interesting one when they do that. You know, they bring two movies out on the same day that have both got
themselves an armor.
kind of Titanic possibility and not in the sinking way.
Yeah.
You know what I meant by that. You know, they're huge movies. They are huge. This is a Spielberg movie.
A Spielberg Disney movie about a Roald Dahl book. Like, that should print its own money.
It's not. I don't think it's Disney. I think it's.
No, it is. It's Disney.
It's Universal.
I thought it was Disney.
No.
I was positive it was Disney.
No, it's Universal everywhere else in the world apart from this country, which is Entertainment One.
Up the hill. Let's blaze our way
That's currently where it's at. So it's E1 and Amblin, I think, here, and then Universal and Amblin everywhere else in the world, which is interesting.
Let's take that bridge.
Disney probably would have liked to have been involved, but they have way too much on their plate right now. They're releasing a big title every month for the next foreseeable ever,
Yeah.
which is just epic.
Yeah.
Which is great, you know, because but then they are now in control of all our favourite things ever, such as got some more Star Wars movies to come, Marvel to come. We've got more Pixar, got more, and of course they're live action versions, aren't they? Animated classics.
Yeah.
Which is another thing. Oh, hang on a second.
Hey, the BFG.
That's where's that from? Wikipedia.
Movies.com. The BFG.
Strange. This movie has had images in different territories than I know what to do with.
Yeah, I knew it did. I read all about it because they'll be performing out the art.
Yeah, because that being said, because Disney Spielberg, but it's, let's have a look.
Disney's the BFG official trailer.
It's really, really strange.
Even IMDb, look, it's BFG.
Yeah, but it's
I'm not making that up.
I know. You can see that he's just for those who can't see that he's actually it's a one sheet with Disney's BFG. Really interesting. It's Universal elsewhere and Entertainment One.
Yeah, that's madness to me. Because I knew that was the case. I was like, that's Disney.
But it's in the same way though that Die Hard was Fox. Everywhere here it was Disney. Do you remember Disney Die Hard with a Vengeance in this country?
Yeah. I got on the press show with that. It
was Disney had Die Hard, with a Vengeance, which made no sense because everyone in the world had. It's
we were promised a load of vests and we never got them.
We still didn't.
It was a big issue of contention for a long time.
Like,
we were John McClane shirts covered in blood and holes with Avengers written on it. Like shirts and
yeah.
Or Gruber battle armor.
Gruber battle armor. Yeah, the Gruber brothers.
And we never ever.
The Gruber brothers, that less famous band. Okay, I'm gonna show you this thing.
That marshal of yours sure doesn't seem to mind getting his hands dirty.
So yeah, I was positive. I was reading that everyone was going like, this Disney BFG by Spielberg should be a license to print money, and it isn't.
Okay, so this is I'm gonna show you. Where is it? It's okay. Sorry for the benefit of anyone listening. I'm searching.
For the benefit of those with flash photography.
Okay, so here we go. We've got here's the UK quad poster.
Okay.
Just so you're aware, for the benefit of listening, I'm going to show you UK quad poster.
Yeah, no Disney logo on that.
No, Entertainment One Films here in the Kingdom.
Crazy.
No reference to Disney or Universal. Which is really interesting because the first trailer I saw was Universal. Didn't have Disney on it at all.
You would have at least expected it to be DreamWorks, wouldn't you, or something?
Yeah, I know, that's crazy. So I've seen this movie being represented by 3 different major studios. So the Entertainment One is a big deal here in the UK. So yeah, E1 here, Universal elsewhere, Disney in America. I'm assuming that's where you got that from.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
But that's why I thought it was Disney, because the only news has come out of the States.
Yeah.
And over there, it's Disney that are having the problem with it.
That's a lot of wow. This is funny, I say, bringing up the point about, from my point of view, I wasn't understanding that it was from Disney in another country. So I'd seen Disney's release schedule for the next 3 years, and I was like, it stands to reason they wouldn't touch it because busy.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, what are they now? They're the house of, like, 4 studios, aren't they?
They're the house of everything cool.
5 studios. You've got the live-action fucking remake studio part of it.
Yep.
You've got the, you've got Pixar. You've got Pixar Light, which is otherwise known as, like, the Walt Disney Company.
Yep.
That's what Walt Disney Studios is now, isn't it?
Yep.
It's Pixar Light. But, you know, they've been performing well. They're doing Wreck-It Ralph 2 and that thing with the Rock. I can't think what that's called now. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph 2's the thing. That's happening. That's upcoming.
And they've got 2 classic releases this year.
They're remaking their live-action versioning stuff of, also of their animations. We've got Beauty and the Beast coming, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so right.
That's going to be the first real big test for this idea. Because that's a movie that, you know, basically saved the House of Mouse at one point. It was...
Yeah, that was through its...
Like, they had, like, Little Mermaid, and Little Mermaid was like, alright, and then Aladdin, they're like, okay, so they're doing alright, and then, like, Beauty and the Beast was around that time as well, where we had that renaissance. We're in like, a third renaissance of Disney movies at this moment in time.
Yep.
There's no doubt about that.
I'm just trying to pull that up now, because I can actually tell you exactly what they've got coming. They've got so much coming.
Yeah.
So much. Their release schedule for the next few years is absolutely jammed. More jammed than, you know, a lot of people. But even this, you know, going back to, it's July presently, you know, so it's blockbuster month.
Yeah.
This month and next month, we've got some. I'm just gonna get the schedule up. We've got some great films, and some also, you know, interesting kind of options coming over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Here in the UK, anyway. I know you guys, for those of you listening in the States, you've probably got some of these movies already, and have had them for many weeks. But yeah, let's just look at... Load, damn you!
Yeah.
This is entirely my device, and not your super fast internet, by the way.
Damn you.
Damn you!
boy.
Some bitch. Okay, so yeah, Ghostbusters obviously opens. We've kind of covered that. I love the idea that the Secret Cinema are reissuing Dirty Dancing.
Okay.
It's kind of a thing where it's like a big kind of festival vibe, and it's an open air screening, and they go to like Hyde Park and stuff like that, and they screen you a kind of digitally remastered version of the movie, which is, I think, is a nice idea. I like that. But Ice Age Collision Course is coming up this month. Really not feeling that movie.
Yeah.
I think it's
Uninventive.
explore your theory about 15 characters.
Right, so Ice Age is funny and quippy, right? Because it's got right. So 4 main characters in the first one.
Yeah.
One of them being the young child they are trying to get back to its herd, as they call it.
Yeah.
In the thing, and they end up forming their own herd. Right, but that kid doesn't talk; just makes the occasional cooey noise. But you can write really quippy, witty dialogue between 3 people. But
Yes.
now there are what, like 15 people in this.
There's so many characters.
Right, so 10 minutes of that is going to be taken up by scrap nonsense.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
It's an animation, so that's a 10-minute credit reel
Yeah.
for
That's
sure.
20 minutes. This movie is the exact running time is 90 minutes.
Right. So that's 20 minutes taken up. Right. So
You got 70 minutes left.
yeah, so we've got 70 minutes. So, if we just do some quick basic mathematics, I'm pretty sure I was right. Right, so 70 minutes. 70 divided by 15 is 4.6 minutes of dialogue left on the screen for everybody if they were just to talk.
There are a lot of people in this movie.
How are you supposed to get a story out
You
of
know,
that?
reprising roles, obviously Ray Romano. Queen Latifah's now his wife.
Not in real life.
Obviously not in real life.
No, we don't want to start any rumours.
Playing the character of his wife.
Yeah.
He has a daughter in this movie. He now has a prospective son-in-law in this movie.
Yeah.
So that's them four automatically. We've got John Leguizamo
Yeah.
playing
John
his character.
Leguizamo's love interest. John Leguizamo's
His love
mother,
interest played by
his
Jessie
nan.
J. His nan,
We've got Crash and Eddie.
one of which Sean William Scott, and the other gentleman's name I can't remember. I do apologise.
Buck Wild.
Buck Wild, Simon Pegg. Three dinosaurs, one of which is
Three
voiced.
dinosaurs in the Ice Age.
Three dinosaurs.
So now they're trying to tell us that in the first film there were human beings, right? And now there are dinosaurs. So dinosaurs and human beings live together. So this is the fucking Flintstones now. Yeah, dinosaurs and human beings never lived together.
Apart from in the Flintstones.
Yeah, that's the only time that ever happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got to call bullshit on this movie. I know it's a kids movie, but come on. We don't want kids thinking that that's what happened, do we?
No.
And this is the fifth
disbelief is
this
suspended.
is the fifth
though.
or sixth movie now, yeah.
It's the fifth movie, yeah.
Fifth movie.
Fifth movie.
There are I tell you what it is. There are so many fucking holiday specials for this franchise.
It may be the 16th. I don't know. I've lost count.
No, it just feels like there's been a ton. And like last one was Pirate Monkey on an iceberg. Yeah, they were fighting.
Sounds like Saturday night to me.
Yeah. Pirate Monkey Iceberg. Yeah, it sounds like an indie band name.
Yeah.
But it's no, and I was just like, no, this is awful. This is no longer funny. Third film was funny just purely because of the introduction of Buck Wild. Simon Pegg stole that movie. I don't
And
know
he
how
steals
much,
this one.
I don't know how much he improvised of that. I don't know how much was scripted.
And
But if you've got Simon Pegg in a booth, you let him improvise, don't you?
yes, and he's great in this movie.
Dennis Leary is fantastic, and Leguizamo, like, I rate highly. I think he's one of the most underrated actors in all of Hollywood.
Jennifer Lopez is the character of Dennis Leary's betrothed in the movie.
Okay. Yes, that's another character. Oh, God. It's just too much. It's too much for what's going on. And we're talking about a series that's how old now?
Oh, now you're asking.
Like, if it gets to the point where your first film is way older than your age demographic, like, should you keep making that film?
That being said, Toy Story 4's coming soon.
It's a Pixar movie. It has no demographic.
Let's have a look.
Kind of my point there.
Ice Age. Okay. Let's take a look at Ice Age.
Like, Samurai Jack is coming back, yeah?
Samurai Jack. Yes, I was so happy to hear that.
Right, so I've started watching it again just so I can catch up. But you don't need to. The producers assure me that they do not need. Well, sorry, the distributors assure me you will not need to have seen the first 4 series, and you certainly don't need to have remembered it. I mean, it'd be nice if you did, and they're not discouraging you to watch them because they're certainly like, no, definitely watch them. But you can watch it again. But because it's core audience, and it's going to continue that story anyway, because its core audience are now all adults, they've made it for mature audiences.
That's genius.
Like, how good is that?
Okay, 2002 was the original Ice Age. From Blue Sky Studios.
So we're talking about a franchise that's 14 years old. Okay, so you're still kind of in it.
The first movie essentially has 4 characters, one of which is silent.
Yeah. This is
Romano, Leguizamo, and Leary were the key protagonists, and Scrat was silent, apart from the occasional.
I don't count Scrat as the main character. He's just like something that happens. He's a MacGuffin.
Here's a
He
MacGuffin.
makes stuff happen. He's a unwitting protagonist. of events. It is getting to the point now. It's like, yeah, this Acorn gag is getting a little bit old now.
It's now 14 years old.
Mm.
Interestingly.
And I'm all for overkill, but seriously, come on.
Oh, speaking of overkill, I saw something on Twitter the other day. A guy set up a Twitter account called Frankenfurter.
Frankenfurter.
Yeah, and his tweet 5 years ago.
I'm actually looking forward to this TV event.
Oh, the Rocky Horror. Yes,
Rocky Horror.
Let's get to that in a minute.
That reminded me.
So the tweet he put out 5 years ago was, I'll make you shiver with antithesis. ...
Oh,
he left it. 5 years later, to the
Patient.
with patient. But it's underneath 5 years, man. Like 5 years.
That's
5
awesome.
years to answer that. That's amazing. Like purposely waiting years before you finish this on Twitter is genius. Like the best overkill ever.
2 tweets, and he probably way more like Twitter followers. Speaking of which, Twitter.com.
Okay, you want me to link
Yeah.
for you? Yes.
Yeah.
Twitter.com/ SOC UK
_.
TGS. It's Sunday, man.
Yeah.
And it is stupid o'clock on a Sunday, which is
Oh yeah. Like,
reinforce that name.
who the hell gets up after Saturday night for like a quick podcast at 8 o'clock in the morning? Like, only idiots. Only.
I was out.
But that's the name of the company, you know. Stupid o'clock. That's how this all started.
Yes.
Right, where am I going?
But yeah, that happened. So TV event, Rocky Horror Show is happening. So Rocky Horror Show is essentially remade, but not. It's been not remade as a movie. It's being remade as a TV event.
Yeah.
So it's a special.
Like they've done recently, they did Grease, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was a TV special. I'm pretty sure there was another one as well that got remade as a TV special. Talented cast, for sure.
Yep. Is it Laverne?
I mean, Sarah, who works with us, like she is obsessed with Rocky Horror Show. Obsessed, but she knows it inside and out. Son of a... Oh no, I didn't fall down. Yeah, she knows that film and that musical inside and out. Loves it.
It's Laverne Cox, isn't it? Playing Frankenfurter this time.
Yeah, from
She's genius.
Orange is the New Black.
Genius casting.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah, get someone who basically lives that role. But not to the point where she's in... spoilers. Alien, transvestite, vampire, Frankenstein, inventor type thing.
Yeah, absolute genius idea.
I mean, Tim Curry's come out in support of it,
Yep, he has.
so that's good. Especially considering it's not something that he likes to talk about.
No.
He very rarely talks about Rocky Horror.
I don't know why though. Cause
Well, he said it put him into a typecast role, but I don't think it did. I mean, look at his roles. He's been pretty diverse,
yeah, Pennywise.
and he's respected. Oh, did you see Pennywise has been cast?
Pennywise has finally been cast. Isn't
Yeah.
this absolutely final now?
Absolutely final, and it's a Skarsgård. It's Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, from Netflix series Hemlock Grove,
Okay.
which has taken some critical panning, but I think is actually a much better series than people are giving it credit for. It's it's kind of like Twin Peaks with classic Universal monsters in the main roles.
Okay, so kind of what are our thought processes on the Skarsgård, a Skarsgård?
Oh yeah, so we got another Skarsgård playing Tarzan.
Yeah, I love the Skarsgårds right now, to be honest.
Is it Alex Skarsgård?
Alex Skarsgård is Tarzan, yes. As,
That guy stole every scene he was in True Blood.
Yep.
Like, he he was awesome. He had chemistry with everybody. Like, he's electric on screen.
And he's
We'll ignore battle shit.
in this movie. What I love is that he has presence.
You sunk my Battleship franchise. Like,
Oh, we'll ignore that movie.
yeah.
That movie exists. Did we see that movie? We did see that movie.
It's
Did we go and have? Were we lobotomized afterwards?
I remember when we saw it, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, they're really doing this whole toy thing. I was like, I can't help but think that maybe the best one based on toys is probably Real Steel. Because let's face it, that's just based on Rock'em Sock'em Robots, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's a great movie.
That's basically Rock'em Sock'em Robots, the movie. And I think they just changed the title.
We give Real Steel. Was it a 4 or a 5?
4.
4.
Yeah. Very respectable score.
Excuse me.
So, yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Like,
Monster Trucks is coming as well.
that looks really good. That looks like somehow they crossed Transformers with How to Train Your Dragon.
John Marshall.
That's what I get from that. So the Transformers thing, meh. But the How to Train Your Dragon aspect, I think that film's going to have way more heart than it looks like it's going to have.
And How to Train Your Dragon.
One of my favourite franchises.
The guys behind that are behind Monster Truck. So
And there's definitely going to be a third Dragon movie as well. And the Dragon series is awesome as well. You catch that on Netflix. And I think it's had a couple of series now. Like Riders of Berk, and now you got Dragon Races and other things.
just watching you. Talking about that. Talking about games. Talking about toys. Watching you game. By the way, you're watching Red Dead Redemption. Here on the screen, which just to remind you all is from Rockstar. It's now backwards compatible.
Oh,
on
it's
your
also
Xbox
available
One.
on the Ultimate Sale at the moment for the next week or so. So if you want Rockstar, if you want Red Dead Redemption from Rockstar for your Xbox One or Xbox 360, it's currently $6.95 in British sterling. So probably about $8 elsewhere. And let's face it, like that there's a bargain.
I want to talk about while we're on the
dying
subject
here.
of gaming. You should already own this over there. Now it'll work on your Xbox One.
If you don't,
but if you don't, go get it because it's definitely a great purchase. Always with Rockstar, value for money gaming. You get so much out of a game. The games are huge for Rockstar.
always so cinematic.
So I love that about Rockstar. You're basically interacting with a movie. You're the star of a movie in Rockstar Games.
I mean, it's easily the best game based around Western like movies.
Also,
the Western theme, Western times there's ever been made.
talking games, we were discussing earlier your concept behind what Nintendo should have done,
Oh yeah,
which they're now
For years-
essentially doing.
For years, I've said if Nintendo stopped worrying about making hardware and just made games and released their old back catalogue and made games for other platforms, such as like mobile devices, and like if they expand, like they would make money. So they released Pokemon Go this week.
This is a big deal.
It's a drip release around the world whilst they're dealing with server issues and the rest of it. And
Yes.
obviously they're having server issues because people are finding ways to get hold of the game early.
But everybody probably knows
Which
this now.
even we,
What's-
if you check out our Facebook page, you can see how to get the game now. If you
Yep.
haven't, if it isn't available in your country.
What's the basic
I'll tell you how
concept
to get it
behind Pokemon Go? For anyone that doesn't know yet, because there's probably some people
Basically,
that
you
still
become
heard.
a Pokemon hunter. You use your phone using augmented reality to find Pokemon using like a mixture of maps, and then you find the Pokemon on your screen and you capture it, and then you can battle with other people as well. There are places you can go pick up items like Pokeballs and things like that. Basically, since that's come out, their stock has gone up 10% in less than 4 days. So, as I'm saying that figure, it's probably wrong now. It's probably more. And it hasn't even reached worldwide release yet. So imagine what would happen if they released like their back catalogue across all of the platforms, PlayStation, Xbox. Just forgot it. Like, go the Sega way, but not because you're forced to. Like, Sega were basically forced to stop doing consoles, and then started making just pure games for other systems.
Yes.
If you decide to make the choice and say, right, this is what we're going to do now, they can still make DS because DSs still sell really, really well.
They do. They do.
But if they make their games for other consoles, like, I don't know anyone that wouldn't go out and buy at least 3 or 4 different Mario titles. Everyone would buy Ocarina of Time for their Xbox. There's no doubt in my mind that would happen. Or for their PlayStation. Or, you know, other
Still the
consoles
greatest
are
game ever
available.
made?
It's definitely still up there. The list is obviously getting a little bit more competitive in recent years with stuff like Grand Theft Auto 5 and Minecraft and things like that. But for me, yeah, it probably is the best game ever made. I've been playing Twilight Princess again recently, whilst I've been waiting for the new like Zelda to come out on the Wii U, which is the reason I purchased a Wii U. Thing to do with the fact that Nintendo had a new console out, because I just wasn't interested in the new console. And then they said, oh, there's going to be a new Zelda game, and in the meantime, here's Zelda Wind Waker. And I was like, okay. And then it's like, right, so now we're going to do Twilight Princess because we've had to put back Zelda another year. And I was like, but okay.
Twilight Princess.
Yeah, loved that game. And my memory of it was wrong. It's even better than I remembered it being on the Wii. Works so well with the dual screen of the Wii U pad, where you can just select stuff straight on it. You haven't got to go into any menus or pause or stop, but you can just select and off you go. You change weapons, etc. Change your outfits. It just works so much more fluidly with the dual screen aspect. So, but if they release these games on other consoles, they would make so much money overnight.
There's a huge future for them.
But they don't seem to have grabbed onto that idea. That I don't know whether it's pride, because they're basically the ones that saved video gaming when it was dying on its arse.
They did, of course.
Maybe there's a bit of vanity there that thinks, oh, you know, we could still be a console contender.
Sorry, I just hear in my headset, you rat son of a bitch.
But I mean, at the moment, the PlayStation 4 dominates the console landscape,
Especially with that slate of releases.
Slate of releases are coming up now.
Yeah.
For sure.
E3. I never ever thought in my lifetime I would utter the words Sony just won E3.
Yep.
But they did.
They certainly did. Like, that's not even a debate at this point. You know, they kicked the shit out of it. And but Xbox are still doing respectable numbers, and they've got the S coming out, which, despite early ideas that maybe they shouldn't have done that, I think it's going to sell well. It's at a really good price point, very good memory system. It's small, it's beautiful. It will upscale games to 4K. Obviously, games will be produced that are purely 4K. And if you have a 4K TV, it's probably worth your while. If you don't, then it might look a little bit better with some of the upscaling.
Yeah.
But might not be worth your while. And then, like, Project Scorpio got leaked, so they decided to jump on that leak. And Project Scorpio is not the title of that console.
No.
It's a Blue Harvest name. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's a working title because they were trying to keep it quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And that hasn't worked. And people are like, oh, you know, they're on about a new console for next year or the year after. Isn't that a little bit soon? That's still 5 or 6 years of the Xbox One by that point.
Yep.
And is it going to be a big leap forward? I don't think it is. I still think it's going to essentially be the Xbox One, but I think it will be the upgradable Xbox One, more like a PC.
Yep.
That's what I think that's going to happen. And where everyone was like, oh yeah, great, Steam machines, we're going to get those. This is the big thing about 3 years ago. But the problem is a Steam machine was just essentially a PC.
Yeah.
Because you could run any operating system on it. It didn't just have to just be the Steam OS. You could run dual. So you could either have it as a console or as a PC that plays games, which is pointless because you can already get gaming PCs.
You can.
You can build your own gaming PC from scratch.
You're literally from scratch. You did that, didn't you? Recently?
Yeah.
You built one from scratch.
Yeah. So I don't know how Project Scorpio is going to go. Do I think it's going to change the game? We don't know. It's still early days. They haven't really told us a lot about what's going to happen with that. And I think the PS4 came out strong with its lineup of games. That's not to say that Xbox didn't have a strong lineup of games, because it did.
Oh, massively.
But, oh my god, the PlayStation lineup of games, every single one, it's just next thing up, the next thing. I want this. I need this in my life.
Yep.
I want it. I need a VR headset now. I didn't think I was gonna. I was always more
Oh god, Batman and Star Wars. Sweet Lord.
Oh dear, the idea that I can fly next to him 1 minute and then jump behind the cowl the next. It blew my fucking mind.
God bless you,
And my
Sony.
pants. Just spewing cum everywhere. The idea of these things.
And it's interesting that you mentioned climax,
Yeah.
which is a wonderful way to end this
It
podcast
is.
on that climax.
I think that's probably a good idea. Right, so hope you've enjoyed Red Dead Redemption. Again, pick it up now for about £6.95 on Ultimate Game Sale. You won't regret doing that. Also, Undead Nightmare Pack is £6.95 as well. Now, on there as well, they'll say there's the Undead Nightmare Pack that has everything for £13. But the problem is the two of the things it comes with are also available free on the Xbox Live Store.
Okay, that's interesting.
So get those two things for free and the Undead Nightmare Pack. You can get some other stuff for 65p each, which if you want to do, it's 65p.
65p.
So basically, for 15, 16 quid, you can get the entire Red Dead Redemption experience on the Xbox One, now, and
Backwards compatible.
and then just enjoy the hell out of it. Because why not? I mean, it's awesome.
It is.
I love it.
I love it too.
It's so great.
Not as much as I love all the climax
enjoyed
you've
watching
left
us
everywhere.
play a few levels on it, and I hope you've enjoyed our rantings and ravings and dribbling opinions on
And
the things we've talked about.
if you have an opinion on our opinions, by all means, leave them in the comments.
Yeah.
Subscribe, like, share, be friendly, share. It's good to share.
But remember, only leave a comment if you're an over-emotional weirdo that's got no real opinion at all, because we obviously really appreciate those.
Yeah, those are also welcome. Oh,
They're far more entertaining than the Great Jobs. Don't get me wrong, we enjoy the Great Jobs.
it's okay. There's a Trolls movie coming. I'm sure they'll be happy about that. Or will they troll the Trolls movie?
There's a Trolls movie. I mean, is that just not someone sponsoring the idea of bringing that back as a fad?
I don't know.
Have you seen the trailer for that?
I saw it yesterday.
Oh, don't get me wrong, right? Is it starting to feel like Anna Kendrick can't do anything without James Corden, or vice versa?
I'm not sure.
'Cause they're on everything together.
They are.
Into the Woods, and she's always on his show. Don't get me wrong, love Anna Kendrick. That girl is
Awesome.
is the future of cinema at the moment. And it's nice to see Corden getting recognition, and it does just seem like, oh yeah, we can get Justin Timberlake to do a song and sell some troll dolls. Because there's even glittery trolls and furry trolls in it and all the rest of it. They've got all the different ones in there.
But it'll keep the trolls happy. Or will the trolls troll the trolls?
So we're trying to leave here, and then we just got onto something else. Yeah, so the troll thing actually looks quite good. Secret Life of Pets, I'm looking forward to. Sausage Party's coming soon. We're talking about animation, and that looks really, really good. I'm sure that'll cause a massive controversy, like it did when someone accidentally played it in a child's movie. They played the trailer for that. The Red Band trailer as well.
The Red Band trailer for Sausage Party. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, this happened in China, didn't it? On the front of something recent. Dory.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. I think it was Dory. so people went to see Dory, which is lovely and cute and fun and imaginative, and still 5 out of 5 stars, by the way, guys.
I imagine Sausage Party just as a title doesn't translate
No.
as well. Because over here we call it a Sausage Fest.
We
wouldn't
would, yeah.
Oh, this party's a Sausage Fest.
Yeah.
We wouldn't say this party's a sausage party.
No, it's more sausage fest than party. I mean, obviously sausage
But
party.
a great play
gets
on
set.
words and a great fun. Yeah, that Sing, that looks quite good.
That does look good. There's some
coming
good
out this
animation.
Christmas. There's some good animations coming. I know my daughter will absolutely love seeing.
That's why I'm like kind of happy. Maybe Ice Age is out the way.
Right, so we're going to sign off. So
We are. Thank you very much
from
for
me,
listening.
Keith, TGS Ouchie Boy, and from
Jay Browner,
Mr.
otherwise known as John Brown.
Mr. John, we shall say goodbye. Again, check us out on twitter.com / SOCUK_TGS. Follow us on twitch.tv / TGS SOCUK. And follow us also on YouTube on youtube.com /c/ SOCUKTGS. I think that's all the basics. Check out our Facebook page
for this
as well.
hour. That was impressive.
Yeah, check out our Facebook
Go
page as
you.
well. Stupidclock.co.uk, the gaming session.
Facebook,
Stupid Clock,
Facebook.com.
SOCUK, like the gaming. Just type in the gaming session on Facebook.com and you'll find it. Like it'll be the thing with the big Pac-Man that looks like a clock. That's clock with an L. Just in case you
Sometimes
misheard it.
without.
Right, so in the meantime, go and buy Red Dead Redemption. It's £7. If you
Really?
want the Undead Nightmare pack as well, it's another £7. It's available now, backwards compatible.
I'd buy that
It's
for $1.
awesome. I mean, we just spent the last hour and a half playing it, and it's like I haven't played it for 4 years, and it's like I haven't been away from it. In fact, I'm probably gonna spend more time playing it this afternoon.
Okay, you enjoy that. I'm going to go bust some ghosts.
Okay, so
Awesome
you're
heads.
you're off to the press show of Ghostbusters.
am.
Stick with us to find out more about that. You'll find out more details on our Twitter and Facebook pages, and SOCUK on film.
We will launch our review later today or tonight, probably after midnight.
Yeah.
Depends on how long my gag order is for.
Oh God, I hope it doesn't suck some serious dick.
I hope I'm not gagging.
Like gagging on dick.
And on that note,
Gagging on ghost dick. Ironically.
good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. We've been Stupid O'Clock.